Just a little daytime clip of this. November 21st, 2020. Here in the greenhouse to do a stoke. Got that fire raging. Just give you a peek in the old burn box quick. If I can do it without burning myself. Stoked up with some nice, some cherry. The cherry is green. And then some dry, hard maple. Woo! Burning my knee already. And that's throttled back. That's down at like 1.5, 1.5. And I'll throttle it back another half turn each now that it's rolling. Anyway, wanted to show you peppers are still coming, flowers still coming on those. And the hibiscus is starting to flower again, so that's awesome. That's going to be beautiful, and I'm going to make some nice tea with those beautiful flowers. And I wanted to show the lemon tree is flowering again, which as soon as I saw that when I came in tonight, stuck my nose right up to it, started huffing it. If you've never smelled a citrus flower before, especially Meyer lemon, oh man, just intoxicating, sweet, heavenly candy perfume mix. Just wonderful. So enjoying that. Figs are still here, haven't progressed much. I think that will advance again now that I'm getting the temperatures warmer in here and getting things tightened up and insulated and cold airflow stuff figured out. I switched this fan around. I guess I'll mention this while I'm in here. I switched this fan around to blow that way instead of this way, so we're pulling the warm air and distributing it down over this area that usually gets kind of cold because of all the branches in here. I also switched this fan around, which usually blows that way, and directed it over here so it blows some of this warm air across to this corner and basically fills this space more evenly with warm air. Now that I'm starting to get insulated around the outside edges, we can distribute the warm air more evenly and not just basically lose it out the cold spots and the leaks. Anyway, things are doing good in here. The turmeric is still rocking, still gigantic. Olive trees hiding back in here. The avocado is regrowing from its extreme pruning. No problem. Coffee tree's doing okay. Got to give this another rinse, and still have not fed everything in here, so that's due. The mandarin tree is doing well since it's pruned back up here where it's a little warmer. The coffee trees from JB Peel are doing well. We got some new growth showing up on those, so that's nice to see. Nice new leaves popping. And let's see, the Texas Tarragon unfortunately died, so I'll have to get a new plant of that so I can start over again. Kind of sad to see that happen. I've had that stock for at least 6 years, maybe 7. Catnip that I transplanted is taken off, and the other Meyer lemon trees, the small ones, have lost some leaves and stuff, but they're doing okay. And then I've been snipping and pruning off of this holy basil that I brought in about a month or so ago, maybe a month and a half now. I've been snipping some of this off almost every day for cooking with. It is delicious and wonderful, and it keeps regrowing back here under the floral supplemental light. And of course there's some mature seeds on it. I'll probably clip those off soon and keep that regrow going. Really, oh, it smells wonderful. Really enjoying that. So just a quick update. I guess that's it for now. Just that I would share some beautiful flowers in bloom here in the greenhouse. Cricket, of course, is chirping on and off as it warms up in here. Alright, that's it for now. November 22nd, 2020. Amazing how the 222s are running this year. Everything has been 22222 to the max. And here we are, 1122 or 1122. My friend Dave gave me another 12-volt battery that he had. that had been left behind by another ham friend of ours, another amateur radio friend of ours. He saw that I was switching the battery out for the tractor on and off, and he was kind enough to gift this to me. Dave has given me so many parts. He's the one who gave me the replacement Pi 4. I mean, I couldn't even list all the awesome things the guys helped me with. So, Dave, thank you so much once again. Really appreciate it. So, new battery. I just installed this. We're sitting at 12.5. Of course, that's with fans and power running. We're drawing about 22 watts right now between the fans and the Pi booting up. Anyway, so now we have a working battery to go with the solar bank. That's kind of nice. That gives it a little bit of security for power here. I'm able to charge radios, and batteries for radios and headlights and all that sort of stuff. Even if we completely lose grid power, we have a limited amount of power in here. And of course, it's always warm in here. There's always airflow, and we always have food, medicine. So it's wonderful. So now this battery can go back out on the tractor where it belongs, and now when I need to grab the tractor, I can just grab it and go, and it won't interfere with charting or greenhouse operations. So thanks again, Dave. Really appreciate that. Alright, I'm going to go out and try and get some more work done on surrounding the greenhouse in wood chips and build a nice thermal buffer for this winter so we have a nice efficient greenhouse. And then I got to get ready for the 630 net on the Overlook Mountain Amateur Radio repeater. And then of course at 9 is the Sunday night All Things Natural net. So yet another busy day here. Alright, that's it for now. Back in the greenhouse again. Had to run out and get some diesel fuel for the tractor. And realized when I came back and went to unload the diesel fuel, I forgot to unload this yesterday. My friend Aaron, his father-in-law, Jose, gave me this parsley, and I guess there's some cilantro in here as well, to take home, which I'm really stoked about. I've wanted to get parsley going in here again for a number of years, and it's just something that keeps falling off the end of the work list, because the work list is too darn long. But I'm really stoked about it, so thank you, Jose. I really appreciate this, and this is going to go up somewhere where it gets better light and it will be cared for better. But for now, I just wanted to get it in here. I wanted to say thank you to Jose. Greatly appreciated, my friend. Gracias, amigo. So, I also just noticed that these hibiscus flowers have opened. Can't not share these. If I can get a light and a camera both on them at the same time without falling on my face. There you go. Gorgeous. And of course more ready to open all through there. And I'm sure there's other stuff that I'll find here as I go. I did want to show these sweet potatoes are starting to climb here now, so they're doing well. I guess that's it for now. Sunday, November 22nd, a little bit before 8 o'clock here in the old Eastern time zone. Started the stove up right around 4. You can see where I topped up the secondary thermal mass with some fresh water. I think it took about 7 or 8 gallons to top that up. You can see that little drop there. You can see that reflected in BTUs. I'll just give you the scale here so you can get an idea. And I'll give you the scale here on the temperature. And so I stoked it up, got it up and running, had a decent coal base in it. Puts a mixture of green cherry and dry hard maple in. Throttled it back to about three quarter on each throttle, and just kind of let it go. It's been real steady, producing nice heat. You can see the thermal mass stayed stable and then started to produce heat. And and you can see where the stove kind of ramped up over time. We've got a really hot coal base in there. That wood's all preheated nice and all now. She's running nice and gentle and even. Our greenhouse temp has been climbing from like 63. It's now at about 70 degrees. Actually closer to 71. And so it's really nice in here. But I just wanted to show what happens when you turn this stove loose. Like I said, we're running at 3/4, 3/4, which when I say that I mean 3/4 open on each, 3/4 of a turn open on each of these air intake inlets. What I'm going to do here, as soon as I get a glove on, because those are hot, is open these up, and you'll hear immediately the roar. Ready? You hear it starting to take off, and I actually can feel the heat increasing. I'm about, well, I don't know, I'm about 6 inches from the door of the stove, and I can't stay here much longer as that ramps up. It gets that hot that fast. So we'll just let that run a minute, and then we'll take another clip of the chart here in a minute. I'll just give you a timestamp now. It's 7:52, and you can already see, even that little ramp, the stove temp went up pretty significantly. But we'll check back again in a couple of minutes, and you'll see just how quick we can ramp up and meet heating demand with this. Alright, 7:54. You can already see that steep curve increase on the stove temp. That's the red line. And we'll take a listen here again. You can hear that absolute deep roar of air being sucked through the intake, immediately heated to probably 1,000 or more degrees, and then flashing onto those coals, causing fast gasification and a nice clean rapid burn. And I can't even, I have to stay at least a foot away from this now. It starts to burn my fingers within seconds. So that's how much heat this stove can actually put out. This thing is a beast. If anybody wants a stove like this, get the Sierra. I think Fisher also makes a stove that looks very similar to this. I would think that design is almost equivalent as far as heat production, although I've never tried the Fisher version of it. Anyway, you can hear that really taking off now, and you can probably see that red glow developing around the air intakes. Yeah, so I can't leave these open like that. I'll go back down to 3/4, 3/4, because that's about all we need to do to produce enough heat to heat the greenhouse and still be sequestering heat in the thermal mass up here and this thermal mass over here. And there's really no need to go beyond that right now. Now, I guess we should just reference outside temperature here. You can see, if you go across here, 40 on that line. You can see we're just about a hair below 40. It's probably 39 degrees here. So it's cold, it's raw, it's not nice out at all tonight. We have a cold rain inbound. It's starting to sprinkle out there already. But huge difference since I put the wood chips on the back side of this, the greenhouse, and just thought I would share how nicely this environment is regulating. We're not seeing all those crazy dips and swings here in the inside temperature of the greenhouse. It's much more stable and level. And that's really what I've been trying to achieve, and I'm going to continue doing these upgrades, and you'll see. Anyway, I'm going to close this back to 3/4, 3/4, because it's starting to actually warm up in here pretty quickly. I guess I'll show you. You can see that average greenhouse temperature, the purple or indigo or mauve or whatever color you want to call that line, climbing pretty rapidly also. So just thought I would share another perspective on the wood heat thermal mass system. Kind of hard to illustrate just how some of the details of how it works. So I thought I would do it with the charts because it's an easy way for you to understand the physics and how that correlates to temperature management. So here we are at 8:08. And you can see where I had the door open for a minute there while I was stoking. That massive heat spike, as well as that shot of opening the throttles before it. And now you can see I throttled back to 3/4. And as she's dropping back down to like a more normal operating temperature, you can see the greenhouse temperatures come up. That's went from like basically 70 to 75 in the last few minutes. And I also brought up the script for the thermal mass management, and you can see because we're over 140, we're actually over 150, we're like 155, but because we're over 140 and that script is set to kick on at 140, now we're pumping heat across from the upper thermal mass to the lower one. You can see the D heat reflecting that here as that drops. And then up top here in the BTU chart, give you the scale again there, you can see tank 1 dumping heat off, and tank 2 just starting to respond to that dump. And then of course you can see the total BTUs kind of fluctuated a bit as the pump comes on and heat starts to transfer. We'll look at this again in another couple of minutes. And I'll show you the TMAS 2 tank. You can see there's water flowing out of that. Very hot water flowing out of that. And you can see this tank is spinning in circulation, and you can see some of that steam evaporating and rising off. Alright, we'll check back on this in a few minutes. Okay, so just one last quick update. You can now see it's 8:17, and you can now see where the thermal mass on top is transferring heat to the thermal mass on the bottom. They're basically going to trade BTU reserves, and you can see the total BTU value is sort of stabilized. Of course, we're adding to the BTUs from the stove this whole time as well. So while we're taking heat off of the upper tank here, we're also continuing to add heat to it. Even though its temperature is dropping, we're still pumping BTUs in from the stove. And you can see the secondary tank temp come up here as well. And you can see the deheat value dropping very rapidly. Alright, I've gone on about this enough. I think you get the idea. Just thought I would share some more intimate details. Alright, thanks for watching. Pharmacy Seeds Network. Oh yeah, for the outro, I'll give you a shot as I get ready to throw some green cherry in here of what happens when you open this door. It's just fully involved coals, and I'm back about 3 feet and starting to burn me already. So that's how much heat this thing can make.